back to this week's edition of Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Gold Club members' questions. I've got Ron here with me. How you doing today, Ron?
I'm doing great. We're right here in the middle of the Quick Start Real Estate School here in Jacksonville. Got a great group.
Yeah, we do. And one thing I do want to remind you guys of, this is a benefit for our Gold Club members. So if you wanted to ask Ron a question, go ahead and go get signed up if you haven't already. Where can they do that, Ron?
RonsGoldClub.com, and there's several levels. Get in, and you have all the explanations there. And anytime you sign up, it's, we're not ATT. You don't have to have a 2-year contract. You can get out whenever you want. And one of the levels includes 25 hours of VA service, and you can ramp up to that or go back down as you see fit. And you only get charged by the minute that the VA is working for you, not by the hour they're sitting in our seat. So go check it out and get in this Quick Start School as fast as you can, because I'm only doing 2 more live this year and 1 virtual, and we'll have the next year's schedule published pretty soon.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and get right into this then. Our first 2 questions actually come from Tony and Angie Stewart over in Ohio.
Of course.
First question being, I know you are not a tax accountant, but the question I have is, when you pay out a referral/marketing fee, for example, like $1,000 for a house you close on, do you have to issue them a 1099, or do you simply write it off as a marketing expense?
Yes and no, Tony. The IRS says you must issue them a 1099 after they make $600 that you paid them. Ask me how many entrepreneurs really do that. I don't know, okay? So that is the question. Well, frankly, you can ask your CPA, and I can tell you right now, he'll tell you yes. But how many do it? Don't know. And you got to remember, I'm on the public airway here. So probably should ask that question a little bit more when we're in private.
All right. Next up, they're saying, today I got a call from my online advertising from a new wholesaler trying to sell a house.
Right.
He was not clear on how much it would take to sell the property, and I did send him your way for more training using my affiliate link. But here's my question. It would seem that when doing a deal with a wholesaler, as a transaction engineer, the rules are the same. We're looking for either an offer well below Mayo or terms. Any other concerns when we're working with wholesalers?
Terms and wholesalers are irrelevant. You're not selling any property with terms to a wholesaler. In the terms business, you're selling to owner occupants. In the junker business, you're selling to a wholesaler, or you're rehabbing it and retailing it. So I'm not really sure what the question would be in that case.
I think for this one, it's actually a wholesaler contacting them to sell a house that they have.
That's a good way to get some houses, especially with the new ones, because sometimes they'll sell them for a lot less than what they could get, and they don't know it. So all you need from that wholesaler is to tell him to send you everything he gets, and you'll find out real quickly if it's worth messing with or not. The truth is, most of them want about what I would want if I was wholesaling it, they're leaving me no room to pay them. So it's all going to depend on the math. You got a better chance at that with the new wholesalers that haven't been properly trained yet.
Perfect. Next up, we've got a question from Gary Owens. He said that you state in your scripts that we will take it as is, which means no home inspector is going to come out and take your house apart. However, you also stated in your last Ask Ron that you would have the home inspector come out and look it over. For clarification, are you employing home inspectors for all cash deals and terms deals?
That's a good question. The answer is all cash deals that I intend to buy now, not that I intend to wholesale. The answer is absolutely. I am definitely not going to pay cash for a house until I have the house inspection done. And it needs to be done so that you can hand a copy of it to your contractor to get a real bid so they can see what's got to be done while they're working on the house. Do I get them with the pretty houses, the terms deals, inspections? I really don't. Maybe I should, but I really don't, because I have little or no money in them. I have little or no risk, and frankly, they're nicer houses to begin with, so there's a lot less things that I need to worry about. But if you want to be really safe and probably do it properly, you should get a home inspection every time you get ready to close on a house. It's only about $450, and they'll find stuff that you won't see just walking through it.
Perfect.
But you did ask me what I do, not what you should do, right?
All right. Next up comes from Robert Straker. He says, "Hey Ron, I'll be attending your upcoming Quick Start Real Estate School in Chicago."
Good, Robert. Bring plenty of leads.
And he wanted to know if you still had any copies of your most recent book that you'll be giving out so that he can get an autograph from you.
I will be selling them. We won't be giving them, but we'll probably bring some up there, and they're only $10 each, and I'll autograph it while you're there. By the way, get with a realtor and get some MLS junkers and bring them too. I'd like to be working on them for you, because frankly, I think folks today really should start by doing a wholesale deal, because it's such fast and easy money. And well, that's assuming you don't live in Illinois, because Illinois requires a license for you to do a wholesale deal right now. And actually, that's not true. I didn't mean that. It requires a license for you to assign a contract. But there's plenty of ways to do wholesale deals without assigning a contract. And that's where I think you should start. Because there's no risk. You don't buy it. You just assign a contract, you get a check. So once you learn how to find these things and figure out how to make offers on them, that should be your focus for a while. But, you know, bad news or good news, however you want to look at it, you're not going to find wholesale or junkers without finding pretty houses. So as fast as you can, I want you to get trained on both. And, you know, come see me in Chicago and you'll get that training.
Perfect. I think he's in Oregon too, if I remember right. So
Oregon?
shouldn't have any Illinois trouble.
Oh, okay. I think it was the previous one was from Illinois, wasn't it? Never mind.
Probably. Next up is Vasil Ivanov. He's down in Florida with us.
Okay.
And he said that they're planning on doing their first mailing to foreclosure and pre-foreclosure homes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he does know that pre-foreclosures, you can buy the house subject to a wraparound mortgage or for cash.
Mm-hmm.
However, his confusion lies with foreclosures because he's hearing a little bit of conflicting information.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know, is it true that Florida passed a statute saying you cannot buy property subject to if they are in foreclosure, but only if the applicable facts are there, such as they must live in the house and they must have been filed on. Both must be applicable in order for the statute to apply. If it applies, then you can only buy the property for cash. Do I have this correct?
No. So maybe the first thing you should do is go look at that so-called statute, if it exists. Because I don't know. I know there was rumors about that a couple of years ago, but one thing, if they've been filed on, it is a different contract, and there's got to be a 3-day right of rescission in it, and that's got to be written out in 12-point letters, and that only applies after they've been filed on. Before they're filed on, none of this stuff applies. You can go buy a house just like you buy any other house, and you can bring the payments current, and you can take over the debt. So did I miss that question, or does that answer that question? I can't.
I think that answers it. He really wanted to know if you could still do like a subject to or a wraparound mortgage.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Then that answers it. All right, and then the last one I've got from you, Ron, and it's probably my favorite one this week, comes from Jason Hattaway.
Oh.
He said, my question for you is a hypothetical one. If you could spend money on only one form of marketing for the next year, what would it be and why?
Ron's Deal Finder, which is part of our new Gold Club package, because you can sit at home, pull a list, as quality a list as you want to pull on that thing anywhere in the country, and you can narrow those lists down by continually putting in factors to narrow the herd down. In other words, let's say I wanted to pull up, first you start with your area, and let's say I wanted to pull up vacant houses with out-of-town owners. How else would I identify them? Maybe on the market for more than 60 days or something like that. So I could keep adding these parameters, and the list gets more narrow, but it's an extremely quality list. And the good news is that Ron's Deal Finder will mail the piece for you. I mean, they got the pieces, they print the pieces, and you can put yours in there if you want, and they'll mail it for you. And when they mail it, they mail a package, a letter, and an envelope, stamp and all, cheaper than I can buy the stamp. Cheaper, I don't know how they do it so cheap. So you got the tool to get your own list, and this tool will even tell you what's the top 10% of houses in that area that are more likely to sell within the first 90 days. I mean, geez, it could be the only thing you need, to be honest with you. And if you narrow that target down, you're going to get some response out of it. And in addition to that, you don't need no mail house to mail out 1,000 letters for you every week, because that list is going to be narrowed down to the point where it's only probably a handful of people, but the best quality people to get deals from. Plus, this thing has got a place where you can go in there and put in the parameters of the houses that you're looking for, and it will automatically deliver those houses to you every day into your inbox. And AI goes way beyond people listing online, way beyond MLS. It's got details on millions of details on all the houses in America, anything on public record, and it will determine for you why, it will determine the motivation of the seller. I mean, I won't tell you exact motivation, but you'll know that the top 10% are the most likely to sell within the 90-day period. So frankly, it's an amazing tool. We're using it now. My acquisitionist Adel is using it. In fact, he's teaching it here in a little while, right here in our boot camp in Jacksonville. And it's going to be big. It's really going to be big, because with AI, anything with AI is going to grow fast. And you guys better get up on this AI stuff, because you're going to be left behind very quickly. Some say this is the biggest, most important invention, even better than the internet. So, I learn more about it every day. It's scary in some ways, but in some ways it's very, very exciting, because it's never been easier to get information on whatever it is you want that information on. AI goes and scours the entire internet for everything involved in that house, for example, if you've got one you like. And so it'll also skip trace for you. For 10 cents a name, you narrow down the list. Now you want to skip trace it, find out who's still in the house, which ones are, or whatever you want to know. If it's a vacant house, where does the seller live now? I can tell you that, and produce that list for you, and that's pretty valuable information. So the answer is Ron's Deal Finder. And it's at the $297 level in our Gold Club now, which includes the whole Gold Club itself and a massive site and all kinds of other benefits as well. So anyway, go to ronsgoldclub.com and check it out, and get involved if you're not already.
Jason, one thing I'll add on there too is we recently did a walkthrough of the program not too long ago and posted it on the Gold Club. So if you just look the Deal Finder up in the Gold Club and you wanted a little bit more information.
Is that 1 hour seminar she did?
Not the one from generating quality leads. I did a separate one with her.
No, the one we just did here, I don't know. Anyway, her name is Gina, and she is behind the scenes. She's very good at telling you what this thing will do for you. And it's a cool tool, dirt cheap too. At the $297 level, you're not even paying for the Deal Finder. It's just included in your system. And it's got the CRM in it, which replaces our old Dreams system, because there's so much more you get. And it's got comps in it. It makes it easy to pull up the comps. Anyway, go check it out. ronsgoldclub.com.
Perfect. Well, those are all the questions I've got for you, Ron. Anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, not really. I'd just like to see you guys come see me here. I've only got three of these left by the end of the year. And, I think maybe it's probably in your best interest to take the last 4 months of this year and use them to prepare yourself and train you so you can get out there and get some income coming into your life and build some wealth while you're at it. Because we don't know where the economy's going, and we don't know what's going to happen in the future. The only thing we do know is we better be taking care of our own house, because we have no control of what's going on in the White House. And that's going to start with training, and then it's going to continue with implementation and systems, and we got them all right here for you. You just got to make up your mind, want to plug in. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Thank you.